Hello everyone, I'm Paul Nickel Wire Grimes. Zach Braff has proven himself time and time again in the world of comedy, but now he's tackling opioid addiction and alcoholism with his new film, A Good Person. It's in theaters and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. Braff is behind the camera, writing and directing this film. It stars Florence Pugh as Allison, whose life is turned upside down after a fatal car accident killed the two passengers that she was driving. They were her soon-to-be in-laws, and they were out wedding dress shopping for her. Now a year passes, and Allison is not in a good place. She's become addicted to opioids and is no longer with her fiancé Nathan, who's played by Chinonsa Uche. The other narrative in this film follows Celeste O'Connor's character, Ryan. She's a young girl whose parents were the ones that died in the accident. She is now living with her grandfather, Daniel, who's played by Morgan Freeman, who is a recovering alcoholic himself. Now, one day, Allison sees Daniel at an AA meeting, complicating their roads to recovery as they navigate this new relationship of healing through this connected past trauma. The film also stars Molly Shannon as Allison's mother. A Good Person feels like a really ambitious project for Zach Braff, who is tackling this hefty subject for his fourth film as a director. Now, at first, it seems like we're getting two different narratives related back to this car accident, but they do eventually merge together in this lesson on addiction and how it's related to grief. Braff uses Morgan Freeman's gentle and recognizable voice to open the film, as he muses over a model train set and the city that it surrounds. It's a metaphor that Braff comes back to as the character of Daniel has spent years building this set in his basement. Now, Braff's job here is tricky as he uses this very topical and sensitive subject of opioid addiction and alcoholism to really drive his film, knowing that how he talks about it and its relationship to grief could turn some off. But for me, the film always felt grounded thanks to its central performances from Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman. Pugh always felt present and bluntly honest in portraying Allison's recovery. It's never linear or progressing always in a constant positive manner. It's rocky to say the least, and we see how Allison is making bad choices time and time again in an attempt to always take the easy way out. The character is really complex in how she treats Daniel and her mother, who at times is enabling her own addiction, not knowing what is best for her daughter. Allison is an explosive character that Pugh just excels at all the time, and we're reminded that Allison was never doing anything wrong behind the wheel. She wasn't an addict before the incident, and Braff showcases how addiction can grab hold of anyone. Now, we haven't seen Morgan Freeman in a role like this in quite some time, and I was quite moved watching how his character is tested by the bottle time and time again despite his years in sobriety. We see how he had ruined relationships and is really trying to make it right each passing day, and that Allison may be his best hope yet. Braff and his actors make these characters feel very real in the messy state that we find them in. Now, A Good Person, like I said, it may turn some people off, but I was moved by just this unlikely friendship that is formed between these two characters and the connection that they have to this lifelong journey that is recovery. I'm giving A Good Person 4 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got to interview Zach Braff, Florence Pugh, and Molly Shannon, and we just had a really good conversation about these subjects. It was really delightful and really eye-opening to hear them talk about it. Don't forget to go see A Good Person at your local Imagine theaters. There are some really fantastic movies playing in theaters right now, and you don't want to miss out on that theatrical experience. The communal nature of going to a movie is just so unforgettable. So go to your local Imagine theaters, whether it is to go see A Good Person or John Wick Chapter 4 or Scream 6. Don't forget to follow them on social media. Imagine MN, EMAGINEMN. And they've got some really fantastic programming coming up and some community events always paired with your local releases. Look for some really fun events and games coming up for Dungeons and Dragons. So definitely want to check those out. And Paul's Trip to the Movies is also sponsored by Popped Corn. Whether you're watching March Madness or are looking for some Easter gifts, visit their website and put in an online order. They've got a ton of baskets and teens for whatever occasion it may be, whether you want your sports team on it or for some Easter baskets. They've got everything for your taste buds. Don't forget to follow them on social media too, at PopcornMN. You won't regret it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Paul's Movie Trip, and then go to my website, paulstriptomovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of A Good Person. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.